It's going very well, actually. We've just put out our UAT environment. It's probably been out for about a month or so now, so that's really positive. So market participants can and are starting to test their data with us. We're also working with the leading market intermediaries offering delegated reporting and assisted reporting in this space, so they're also testing with us, which is great. We're obviously working on the submission to ESMA for the extension of our services. As an existing TR, it's a streamlined application process. Nevertheless, there's quite a lot of work entailed there. Commercially, well, really, we've been answering a stream of detailed RFPs for well over a year now. That's showing no sign of abating, so there's a lot of interest on that side. And then really, I suppose we're also doing a lot of work on client readiness and education, if you like. So we're running our own client working groups. We've a couple of webinars planned. We rolled out a training module in association with Market FinReg. A lot of clients have booked that and are doing classroom training, which goes into really granular level, actually, of field by field, what needs to be reported. And actually also during that time we've also set up a UK trade repository. So with one eye on Brexit, obviously we have a substantial number of UK clients and clients in the pipeline for SFTR that are UK domiciled, and so the UK TR is really an important piece to be able to facilitate that as well. It's difficult to answer a question about the national competent authorities as if they were one homogenous group. Obviously, you know, there's a large number of regulators in Europe. They vary in levels of resource and sophistication, shall we say. And the regulators themselves haven't started onboarding with the TRs because the TRs aren't licensed yet. So the regulators will onboard once the TR licenses are in place. And then it will be interesting to see how they approach SFTR, for example, in comparison to EMIR. So whether or not, like EMIR, they adopt a pragmatic mindset and, you know, although they wouldn't say it, in effect, they permit a kind of soft start, knowing that data quality from day one might be reasonably low. Certainly matching and reconciliation is likely to be low at the start, but they will expect that obviously to improve, and they will expect market participants to have a robust process in place to identify where the problems in their data quality lie and be able to address that. Brexit will impact SFTR to greater and lesser degrees. The reporting element of SFTR won't have started theoretically by Brexit date. Then it's not covered by the withdrawal agreement. So what that means is that the UK has to pass its own piece of legislation to put the SFTR reporting framework in place, which of course they will do. Market participants we speak to, the intermediaries, you know, we're members of ISLA and ICMA and so on. Everybody's working to the assumption that it will be a similar scope and to a similar time frame to the European, the EU SFTR. So in that respect, it shouldn't be too different. Where it does potentially differ is if you are offering delegated reporting services. So for example, you report a trade and one leg is a UK counterparty and one leg is an EU27 counterparty. Then you have to consider where that trade flow goes, because the EU piece has to go to an ESMA licensed European trade repository, in our case Regis-TR SA Luxembourg, and the UK piece has to go to an FCA licensed UK domiciled trade repository, in our case Regis-TR UK Limited. So there may be an element where you have to identify, if you're doing delegated reporting, who the counterparty is, where are they domiciled, and therefore the corresponding flow will go in either direction accordingly.